Picture this. Someone disrespects you. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's some clown on the internet, maybe it's someone you thought was a friend. They say something that cuts, something designed to make you look small, and instantly you feel it, that heat rising in your chest. Your jaw tightens, your fists clench. You want to destroy them. You want to tear them apart with words, with force, with everything you've got. And that's exactly where you lose. Let me tell you something most men will never understand. Disrespect is not an attack. It's a trap. It's bait dangling in front of you, and the moment you bite, the moment you open your mouth to defend yourself, to argue, to put them in their place, you've already been caught. Look at them. Really look at what's happening. They are begging for your attention like starving children. They need you to react, because without your reaction, they are nothing. They are invisible, powerless. The ancient Stoics understood this perfectly. Epictetus said, if someone succeeded in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Translation, they didn't disrespect you. You disrespected yourself by caring. The hook is simple. The moment you react, you become their servant. You hand them the remote control to your emotions. You let them dictate your peace, your time, your energy. And for what? To prove a point to someone who doesn't even deserve to be in the same room as you? A king does not argue with peasants. He doesn't even acknowledge them.
Now here's where it gets interesting. Here's the weapon they never saw coming. Silence. Not the passive, weak kind of silence where you're seething inside, plotting revenge, letting it eat at you. No, I'm talking about the pure, cold, calculated silence of a man who genuinely does not give a single damn. The kind of silence that makes people feel like they're shouting into the void. Let me share a psychological secret with you. When you ignore someone, especially someone who disrespected you expecting a reaction, their brain enters a state of panic. Neuroscientists call it social exclusion anxiety. Humans are wired to seek acknowledgement, validation, attention. When you remove that, when you treat them like they don't exist, it triggers the same pain centers in the brain as physical injury. They feel invisible. And invisibility? That hurts more than any punch you could throw, more than any insult you could fire back. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, wrote in his private journal, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." Not to out-insult them, not to out-fight them, to be so far above them that their existence doesn't even register in your world. You think arguing with them makes you look strong? You think clapping back makes you look powerful? No, it makes you look triggered. It makes you look like they got to you, and they did. Here's the brutal truth most men refuse to accept. When you argue, you're on their level. When you defend yourself, you're playing their game. When you ignore them, watch what happens. They double down. They get louder. They try harder. They send more messages. They talk about you to others, desperately trying to get a reaction through a third party. Why? Because you broke their brain. You didn't follow the script. You were supposed to fight back. You were supposed to prove them right. Instead, you gave them nothing. And nothing is the one thing they can't handle.
So how do you actually do this? How do you become the kind of man who can look disrespect in the face and feel absolutely nothing? It's called the emotional void technique, and it's what separates boys from kings. Step 1. Understand that their words have zero inherent power. The only power they have is the power you assign to them. When someone insults you, they're essentially making sounds with their mouth. That's it. Air vibrating through vocal cords. It only becomes disrespect when you decide it is, when you choose to let those sounds mean something. So, choose differently. Step 2. The physical execution. This is where most men fail because they think ignoring means running away, looking down, avoiding eye contact like a coward. Wrong. You look through them, not at them. When they speak their disrespect, you give them 2 seconds of eye contact, not angry eye contact, not hurt eye contact, empty eye contact, the kind of look you'd give a piece of furniture. Then you turn away. You continue your conversation with someone else. You check your phone. You walk away. Not in a hurry, not angry, calmly, like you just remembered you have something more important to do, which you do, because everything is more important than them. And here's what happens next. They'll try again, louder this time. Maybe they'll follow you. Maybe they'll get in your face. And you maintain the void. You don't smile. You don't frown. You don't acknowledge. They are a fly buzzing near a lion, and the lion doesn't explain himself to flies. The lion doesn't argue with flies. The lion doesn't even notice flies. And eventually, the fly moves on, confused and defeated because it couldn't extract the one thing it needed, your energy. The freedom you feel when you master this is indescribable. While they're still standing there, red-faced, shouting at air, trying to figure out what just happened, trying to tell the story to their friends about how you ignored them and somehow making themselves look even more pathetic in the process, you've already moved on. You're building, you're focused, you're executing on your actual goals. Let them shout at the wall. You have an empire to build, and empires aren't built by men who waste time defending themselves to people who don't matter. Remember this. Silence is not weakness. Silence is sovereignty. The moment you understand that you owe no one an explanation, no one a reaction, no one your peace, you become untouchable. That's the game. Master it.